Why does ice melt so fast in bourbon? Or does it?
I'm a complete beginner looking to improve my palate and learn more about bourbon, so come along with me.
Well, does ice melt in bourbon faster than it does in Coca-Cola or water? Or does it melt slower? Let's find out. I've poured 2 ounces of water, 2 ounces of Coca-Cola, and 2 ounces of bourbon into identical glasses, and we're going to put pretty much identical ice cubes into all three. There's water, Coca-Cola, and bourbon. So all right, we've got ice in all three. I'm going to let it sit for 30 minutes. So we're going to shake it, occasionally, just like we were drinking it. So it gets shaken up a little bit here and there. We're going to go do that over 30 minutes and then come back and drain these off and then see how much water we get out of each of them. Now we are just past halfway in the 30-minute mark, and as you can see, at least from looking at it, the ice cube in the bourbon is melted a lot more than in the Coca-Cola or in the water. So we'll see. We probably about to have another 15 minutes to go, but it's looked like it's proving out that that the ice melts faster in bourbon. All right, it's been 30 minutes, and it does look like the ice cube that's in the bourbon is a lot smaller than the one in the Coca-Cola or the water. But let's go ahead and pull them out, and then we'll measure the liquid and just see how much has melted. All right, so let's pull out the ice out of the water and out of the Coca-Cola and out of the bourbon. And as you can see, the ice that was in the bourbon, he has visibly melted a lot more than the Coca-Cola or the water. And in fact, the Coca-Cola looks like it has melted the least, and I thought the sugars would cause the melting, cause it to melt more. Let's go ahead and measure each of the liquids and see how much of that water has melted out from the ice into here. So we'll go ahead and start with the water. And this is 2 ounces when I started. And right now, we are right at 3 ounces. So it's increased by 50% because of the melting of the ice. All right, so I'm going to pour that out. Now do Coca-Cola. And he's right at about a little under 3 ounces, maybe just shy of 3 ounces. Okay, so the same thing, about almost an ounce of water from the melting ice. All right, now we try the bourbon. Let me pour him in here. And we are at 3.5 ounces. So significantly more ice is melted into that bourbon. So the bourbon does melt the ice faster than Coca-Cola or water. And I've heard that it's because of the sugars, but I gotta say it's something in the alcohol that's causing that too. Because if it was just sugars, then the Coca-Cola would have melted just as much as the bourbon. Maybe even more, because this is regular Coke. This is the stuff that's got all the sugar in it. It's going to rot your teeth. So, yes, the ice does melt faster in bourbon. So that was kind of an interesting little experiment. I've got some other things planned. I'm going to try to find out Is it better to use cubed ice or ball ice? Which melts the fastest, or which stays it keeps from melting the most. And also looking at ways to have clear ice. How can you make your ice a lot clearer if you're going to have ice in your drink? So just some of the experiments that I'm going to be doing. And but now I think it's time to drink some bourbon. All right, this is my favorite part of the video, where I do another tasting of the bourbon that I've been drinking all week. And in this case, it's Wild Turkey 101. And been drinking this guy all week, and it's really good. And I still taste the caramel, vanilla, maybe a little spice. Yeah, that's what I noticed last week, and I pretty much still smell that and still taste that. So let's put them over ice. And as you can see, I'm almost done with this guy. So. In the ice, it does open it up, and I get a lot more of that vanilla taste. So, all in all, very good bourbon. All right. So now for this week, I'm going to do a tasting of a new bourbon, or at least new for me, and it's Larceny small batch. It's 92 proof, and this is from John Fitzgerald. So Larceny is a product of Heaven Hill, and it's bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky, at 92 proof, and it is said to be aged between 6 and 12 years. So I guess 6 years old. And this is a rather large. This is a 175, and I think this is like $38, something like that. I think a 750 would be about $20, so it's not really that expensive, but it's really good. So let me give it a sniff and a try, and see what we think. I'm really not getting any real strong alcohol smell, like a lot of bourbons, but it really smells good. But I'm getting some real spice in the taste. Some real spice on the bite on the tongue. Kind of a peppery taste. So let's put a little bit of our ice. It, it does open it up, but I'm really not detecting anything really other than that spice, and of course, the pretty much the caramel and vanilla. I can taste that somewhat, but nothing really strong. I think I just need to drink it for a while and get a little more comfortable with it, because this is brand new to me. So. What a good bourbon. So I'll be drinking this all this week, and then come back next week and do another tasting, and then give my impressions of it and see if my palate has changed. That's what I'm really trying to do, is to improve my palate. If you'd like to do this, come along with me. Go ahead and do it. You can, doesn't have to be the bourbon that I choose. You can pick one that you like or that you have on hand. Do a tasting of it, whether you're smelling and tasting or you're tasting any of the different notes and flavors. Then drink it over the course of a week. Then come back the next week and do another tasting and just see if your palate's changed. See if you're tasting anything new. So let's go ahead and do this together. In the meantime, drink responsibly and enjoy.